Welcome to DiscoveryTime Anytime. My name is Miss Katie, and this story time is brought to you by the Phoenix Public Library and First Things First. Today we're going to be talking about quadrilaterals. But before we do that, we're going to do our hello song. So let's get our hello hands ready. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. It's time to say hello. Welcome to Discovery Time. Grown-ups, our early learning message of the day is, when we give children chances to explore new things, it helps them learn their science skills. Science skills help with problem solving, math, and learning new vocabulary. So today we're going to be talking about quadrilaterals. You might be saying, Miss Katie, what's a quadrilateral? Well, quadrilateral is just a really big math term to mean any shape with 4 sides and 4 corners. That's it. Can you think of any shapes that have 4 sides and 4 corners? Did you say square? Because you're right. Today we're going to be reading Square Cat. Square Cat is written and illustrated by Elizabeth Schoonmaker. And it's published by Aladdin, which is an imprint of Simon & Schuster, and it's read today with their permission. So, let's read Square Cat. Eula was a square cat. She longed to be a round cat, like her friends Patsy and Maud, but Eula was square. Life wasn't easy for a square cat. Mouse holes were impossible, and when Eula tipped over, it was hard to get back up. Eula was invisible in the city, and her favorite circle skirt didn't quite fit. Red shoes made her look short, and stripes were just plain wrong, up and down or back and forth. Eula was unhappy as a square cat, so unhappy that she lost her purr. Patsy and Maud tried to make Eula feel round. They gave her hoop earrings and a beehive hat. Patsy painted a red rouge circle on one of Eula's cheeks. Maud painted the other cheek. All together, Patsy and Maud and Eula rounded their lips and sang, "Ooh," while skipping in circles and eating donuts. Eula began to feel round until she tripped and tipped over, which, as you know, is not good for a square cat. That gave Patsy and Maud an idea. They each slipped into a box. They became square cats, just like Eula. They showed Eula that a checkerboard sweater with a pillbox hat looks dazzling on a square cat, and how a painting of a square cat is priceless. As for mouse holes, they are impossible for all cats, round and square. Eula was surprised. She didn't know that. Patsy and Maud showed Eula that square cats are easy to stack, are natural billboards, and are excellent square dancers. Eula jumped with joy, tipped, and got stuck, like always. Patsy and Maud jumped and tipped too, and got stuck next to Eula. Stuck flat on their square backs, the 3 cats gazed into the blue sky. Only a square cat could have this view. Eula purred. Patsy and Maud smiled. The end. Was that a fun book? Yeah, it's quite silly. So, let's build some science skills. So if you read books or sing songs or repeat rhymes that have repeating parts, this really helps teach our kiddos about patterns. And patterns are a fundamental building block in STEM. So we're going to say a rhyme together that is based on a pattern. The pattern helps your child learn the rhyme faster because you repeat it over and over. So today we're going to do 5 little monkeys. Are you guys ready? Let's get our 5 little monkeys ready. Okay. 5 little monkeys jumping on the bed. One fell off and bonked their head. Mama called the doctor, and the doctor said, no more monkeys jumping on the bed. Okay, so if we're doing a pattern, what comes after 5 if we're counting down? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4. Okay. 4 little monkeys jumping on the bed. One fell off and bonked their head. Mama called the doctor, and the doctor said, no more monkeys jumping on the bed. Okay, so that was 4. So let's take one down. What do we have? 1, 2, 3. 3 little monkeys jumping on the bed. One fell off and bonked their head. Mama called the doctor, and the doctor said, no more monkeys jumping on the bed. Okay, what comes after 3? 2. Good job. 2 little monkeys jumping on the bed. One fell off and bonked their head. Mama called the doctor, and the doctor said, no more monkeys jumping on the bed. We have one more. What comes after 2? 1. 1 little monkey jumped on the bed. They fell off and bonked their head. Mama called the doctor, and the doctor said, no more monkeys jumping on the bed. Good job! That was wonderful. So, let's talk about quadrilaterals. Do you remember what a quadrilateral is? That's right. It is a shape with 4 sides and 4 corners. And all 4 of those corners, when you add them together, make 360 degrees. That's it. So there's lots of different shapes that can be a quadrilateral. And they all have a little bit of differences. So we will go through them together. So our first quadrilateral is a square. So you can identify a square by the following 2 things. The first is it has 4 sides that are all the same length, and it has 4 corners that are all the same angle. In this case, in every case, for squares, it's 90 degrees. So that's what makes a square. 4 90-degree angles and 4 sides of equal length. Our next quadrilateral is a rectangle. Does it sort of look like a square? A little bit. Does it have the same corners? It does. So a rectangle always has 4 corners that are 90 degrees, and it has 4 sides, but they're not all the same length. We have 2 sets of equal length sides that are parallel, which means they're across from each other. So this side and this side are always going to be the same length, and this side are always going to be the same length. That means they're parallel, equal lengths. 2 sets. That's rectangles. The next are rhombuses or diamonds. So what makes a rhombus or a diamond is you are going to have 4 sides of equal length. Yeah? And the angles, you're going to have 2 sets of matching angles. So that's what makes up a rhombus. You're going to have 2 sides matching angles, but all 4 sides are going to be the same length. And then if you have 2 sides that are longer than the other 2, then you actually end up with a kite, which we fly in the sky because they're so much fun. Our next shape is the parallelogram. Now, the parallelogram has 2 sets of equal parallel lengths, like a rectangle, but it does not have 4 equal sides, 4 equal corners. It has 2 sets of equal corners, and they're across from each other. So if you have a shape with two sets of parallel sides and two sets of parallel angles, you have a parallelogram because they are parallel. Our last shape is the trapezoid. Now, a trapezoid, the only thing that defines it is two sides are parallel to each other. They aren't the same length. None of the angles have to be the same angle. These don't have to be the same length. Nothing has to be the same. It's just two sides are parallel to each other. That makes it a trapezoid. So those are all quadrilaterals. So quadra means four and lateral means side. So four-sided shapes, quadrilaterals. Do you want to do our activity now? Yeah. So for our activity today, we are going to need paper, painter's tape. So like this blue painter's tape, some paint, paintbrushes. Here's our paper. So what we're going to do today is we are going to make art in the style of Piet Mondrian. Piet Mondrian was a Dutch painter. This is one of his most famous works. This is called Composition with Large Red Plane, Yellow, Black, Gray, and Blue. I know, that's the name of the painting. This was painted 100 years ago in 1921. Piet Mondrian was born in the Netherlands. He lived in France. He lived in the United States. And he is one of the most famous abstract painters of his generation. And he loved to paint with quadrilaterals. See? Rectangles, squares, quadrilaterals. So we are going to make a Piet Mondrian inspired painting. We're going to paint with squares. So the way to do this is we are going to take our painter's tape. Let's bring our easel out front and center, or off to the side. I'll be off to the side too. So what we're going to do is, kiddos, you can do this, grown-ups do this too. Take your tape. My tape did not rip straight. That's okay. You really want to make sure you use painter's tape, because if you use other tape, it might not come up as nicely when you rip it back off. You'll put it on. The tape has to stay on until your items are fully dry, which is why I suggest using painter's tape. They also make painter's tape that's skinnier. I didn't have it. I just had a giant roll, so that's why we're doing that. Okay. You can make squares. You can make rectangles. Whatever you would like. So, we've got a lovely canvas ready for us to paint. You can use cardboard, you can use paper. I'm using cardstock. But what you do is you take your paint and you paint in the squares. And then once the paint is totally dry, you peel off the tape to reveal the lines below. But let's paint. Okay, so once you're done with your painting, you're going to want the paint to completely dry before peeling off your tape. So I have this nice example over here that I already made. This is nice and dry. So you can do this at home. Go ahead and make your own Piet Mondrian inspired quadrilateral painting to continue learning about quadrilaterals. Okay, so our last activity is counting. So we are going to count all the way up to 20 and then back down to 0. Are you ready? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Good job. Let's go back down to 0. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Good job. Our e-resource of the week is the Greater Phoenix Digital Library. You can log on with your library card and you can check out up to 10 items at a time. It's wonderful and amazing. I searched for shapes and I selected juvenile materials and I came up with 125 books that you can check out and read to your child on your e-reader, phone, tablet, or computer. So definitely check out the Greater Phoenix Digital Library. It's accessible through our website, phoenixpubliclibrary.org. And if you want to check out some more modern art that has lots of shapes and quadrilaterals in it, be sure to check out the Phoenix Art Museum. Or you can find them on the web at phxart.org. They are located here in downtown Phoenix, and they have lots of free days where you can bring your kiddo to the museum and explore. They have all sorts of activities and scavenger hunts once you get inside the building. So I would definitely recommend checking out the Phoenix Art Museum to check out some modern art. Grown-ups, remember, when we give children chances to explore new things, it helps them learn science skills. Science skills help with problem solving, math, and learning new vocabulary. It is time for us to say goodbye. So let's get our goodbye hands ready. Okay. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. It's time to say goodbye. Thanks for coming to Discovery Time Anytime. I hope you had fun learning about quadrilaterals. I'll see you next time. Bye.